Tory Lanez driver finally provides witness statement, claims Kelsey grabbed the gun and Tory tried to wrestle it from her when Megan was shot. But appeal court won't accept it as evidence because Tory's legal team declined to call him as a witness during the shooting trial. Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chisha Zed. This recent Tory Lanez update has a lot of lessons here, but I really want to focus on two lessons. Despite me thinking that Tory Lanez definitely contributed to his demise as a musician and also just as a man in general, I was very vocal in really pointing out how there really wasn't evidence for this man to get locked up for 10 years. But I was also honest about, based on his track record, he was going to get locked up for some amount of time. Most people just didn't think that he was going to get 10 years in prison. There are two really important points I'd like to make about this particular situation. The first was inspired by this TikToker, John Cannon. I've actually reacted to a few of his videos in the past. The second thing I want to talk about after is really a warning to all men. But back to my first point. When the Tory Lanez case was very viral news, everybody was talking about it. And the message from Black women in particular was that Black women were the least protected.
Y'all see Black women as the aggressor in every single situation. Even the situations in which we are the victim, y'all still paint us as the aggressor. And a lot of that has to do with the portrayal of Black women as masculine. Black women have had some of the highest abuse rates in the country. I can now name at least 3 Black celebrities who have been victims of harmful, violent attacks, and y'all have called them liars and made jokes about them each and every time. Especially in Megan's case, because she is darker skinned and because she is very tall, y'all love to call her a man. And a lot of us aren't going out of our ways to protect victims of abuse or violence regardless. But you're way more likely to go root for a white woman than a Black woman.
I remember listening to that and I thought, like, you got a bunch of chicks who were involved in this whole situation, drinking. You have Megan Thee Stallion, who is putting herself in harm's way. And this whole situation went past a woman who was hurt and not being believed for her story. But the narrative became Black women aren't protected, and here's the proof. But if we take this newfound news into consideration, which a lot of people believe, I'll just read you a few top comments here in response to this story. This woman says, Tory protected Kelsey because the guilt of messing with her friend, and Meg protected Kelsey because the guilt of betraying her friend. It's simple. Somebody else here says, I don't feel bad for him. He had the opportunity to speak up and say it was Kelsey, but he wanted to cut up horses in video like a goofy. Now he'll be spending a decade in jail for what? Somebody else here said, Tory said himself Kelsey didn't do it, so that's on him. My point is, most people reacting to this situation actually believe that it's not far-fetched that Kelsey is the one who shot at Megan. Let's really entertain that for a little bit. If that's really the case, that the best friend is the chick who actually shot Megan in the foot, then it really obliterates this narrative that the reason why Megan wasn't being supported was because Black men don't support Black women. The truth is, Black men do support the Black women in their lives who they feel obligated and protective over. This could be their wives, girlfriends, sisters, mothers. But the narrative at the time, again, was here's this woman who no one will believe and Black women are not supported. But now that we know this, it changes everything. Is this about a woman who wasn't supported, or is this about a woman who intentionally made bad decisions that produced horrible outcomes for her and thus resulted in this whole situation? I don't want to get too much into the drama behind this whole situation, but I have to explain a bit of the backstory. Tory Lanez was dating Megan's best friend, Kelsey, first. He was dating the best friend, and eventually him and Megan started messing around. And of course, the story here is Kelsey felt betrayed. And in that car where they were arguing, Tory Lanez decided to tell Kelsey what was going on, and Kelsey put out a gun, and that's when Tory began to wrestle the gun out of Kelsey's hand, right? Allegedly. And if that's true, then all this shit could have been avoided if people knew how to control their liquor intake, not be 304s belonging to the streets, and Megan wasn't trying to smash her best friend's man.
Stop getting on this app acting stupid. The reason people are yelling from the rooftops that Kelsey shot Meg in the foot isn't to get Tory Lanez off. And y'all trying to make it about that. No, rewind. time. All had 30-minute think pieces about how black women are protected, and this little short, insecure loser of a man with a messed up hairline got angry at this beautiful black queen. And he was so insecure that he shot her in the foot. That was the storyline. Now it comes out that her friend, another woman, shot her in the foot while Tory was trying to save her. That's my point. Like, I don't, all this shit. Well, no, actually, the reason he's in prison is because he was a felon and he's in the presence of a firearm. You don't know the law. I don't. I'm a square. I'll be the first to tell you. I'm talking about what y'all was talking about. Y'all made this whole story about how this little insecure man, shot Meg in the foot because he's so insecure, and this is why did Meg even give him a chance? Because this, that, and the third. I remember somebody was like, yeah, women like Megan Thee Stallion, when they have everything, they look for a man that they're better than. Y'all were really just going off the handles, and now look at what happened to her. Women like Meg, this is why you never reach down, because these men beneath you will try to pull you down. All this shit, whole time he trying to save shawty life. He was trying to save shawty life. Lucky it was the foot. That girl was probably trying to murder Meg Thee Stallion. He pointed that thing down. What the?
Warning to all men. As a man, you have to learn how to control your emotions. There's a man watching this right now, whose life is going to change and be flipped upside down, all behind some chick. All because he let a woman take him out of masculine frame and he acted out in emotion. Next thing I'm going to say is something that I know a lot of people need to hear today. Slow down with the alcohol. Too many people today do not talk about the dangers of alcohol and really downplay it. I'm not saying don't drink here, but you know who you are. If it's not you, then don't, if the shoe doesn't fit. But there are a lot of people who are on the fence and they're saying, man, I notice when I drink, because a lot of this was also motivated by people being too intoxicated. The best thing a man today, especially if you have big goals and dreams, the best thing you can do as a man is actually put down the alcohol, even if it's for a few years. Guys, I haven't had a drink now going on 3 years, I think, by the end of the year. I enjoy a beer just like the next man. I didn't stop because I had some problem, but I just noticed it slowing me down. Even if it was once in a while. This is a message that's not encouraged enough. Slow down on the alcohol. Be careful about making decisions when you are too emotional. Here we have somebody whose whole career was ruined, all because of his lack of judgment, the women he was keeping around him, lack of control of self, and also the alcohol. Listen, as always, I appreciate you guys for checking out yet another episode of the Coffee Pod. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.